As for Delta State as well, it's going to rain in Delta State at 24 degrees centigrade. Its precip level is at 64%. Its humidity level is at 97%. And wind moves at 3 kilometers per hour today in Delta State. Well, it's going to rain. Most part of the south should be expecting rain, at least so far that we know. So get your umbrellas and try and mind your movements for today. In Cross River as well, it's going to rain at 25 degrees centigrade. Its precip level is pretty high, 79%. Its humidity level 94%, and wind moves at 5 kilometers per hour today in Cross River State. And as for Akwa Ibom State, it's also going to rain at 23 degrees centigrade. Its precip level is at 86%. Its humidity level is at 97%, and wind moves at 3 kilometers per hour today in Akwa Ibom State. And as for River State, it is going to rain in River State today at 19 degrees centigrade. Its precip level, the highest, 99%. Its humidity level is at 98%, and wind moves at 5 kilometers per hour today. So like I said, get your umbrellas and try to watch your movements and just get yourself prepared while you are staying safe and staying cozy for the rainy weather. Please do well to stay safe, stay clean, and stay hygienic. Good morning from us here. It's the weather forecast. Coming up next is the world news in Today 95.1 FM. Today's quest is on. Just stay tuned.
This is the weather forecast on Today 95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good morning. This is the world news in your premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Buchira for the headlines. The federal government orders civil servants to stay at home as efforts to curb spread of COVID-19 intensifies. As it begins indefinite strike as organized labor in River State down tools over national minimum wage. River State Governor Nyesom Wiki announces closure of public parks and nightclubs and cinemas over coronavirus. And on foreign, Norway advises UN to raise funds for third world countries battling with coronavirus. Now the details. The federal government has announced the indefinite postponement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. This is just as it's also announced a 4-week closure of all land borders as part of measures to curtail the spread of the coronavirus. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bus Mustafa, made the announcement in Abuja. The government also directed all civil servants from grade level 1 to 12 to stay at home as it promised to enforce the social distancing policy. The Minister of Health, Osage Ehanire, has announced a total stop to all international flights entering into the country. Ehanire made the announcement during his daily briefing with the media on the coronavirus in Abuja. He said the decision to stop all international flights into the country was taken by a presidential task force on coronavirus. On the first fatality, the minister said the victim, who is a former managing director of the petroleum products marketing company, Suleiman Achumugu, was battling with an initial ailment before being tested for coronavirus.
The federal government of Nigeria, through the Presidential Task Force of Control of COVID-19, has employed diverse strategies to interrupt and halt the spread of the disease. To this end, a ban was placed on all international flights effective from today, the 23rd of March 2020. The person who passed away had underlying diseases. He was receiving treatment for something else. That most of the people who died in other countries had underlying diseases. They had either TB or they had cancer or they had HIV/AIDS, or maybe they were so old also that their body was no longer building enough immune antibodies in their system. So if your body is not able to build antibodies to tackle the virus in your system, those are the people who largely have succumbed.
The federal government also said it is hoping for the best in the effort to contain the coronavirus pandemic. Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, during the briefing in Abuja, said the government was prepared for the worst and will do everything necessary to ensure that Nigerians are protected. The River State government has announced the closure of public parks, nightclubs and cinemas. Governor Nyesom Wike, who made the announcement, also set up border surveillance posts, local government monitoring teams, and also banned public burials and weddings. The governor also directed religious bodies to temporarily stop open worship.
Public burials and weddings ceremonies are also banned within this period. In view of the fact that disease spreads fast through body contact, social distance has become imperative if we are to contain the spread. May I therefore call on all religious leaders, traditional rulers and opinion leaders in the state to assist government to implement these decisions by ensuring persons under their care do not fall foul of this directive. Local government chairmen are hereby directed to ensure that public burials and weddings do not take place in the local government areas.
The governor disclosed the borders where the border surveillance teams will begin operations from tomorrow, which include Emoa for motorists coming from Bayelsa and other states, Omerelu for motorists coming from Owerri, and Okei for motorists coming from Imo State through Eche. Others are Akuzie in Obai, Bema and Doni local government area for motorists coming from Imo State, and Oyibo for vehicles coming from Aba. Commercial bus and taxi drivers are calling for the reduction of suspension of tax payments until after COVID-19 pandemic for smooth compliance of fuel passengers issued by the state government. Some commercial drivers in an interview with our correspondent stated that while the directive by state government is a good decision, the directive will be implementable if taxes and ticketing are being suspended. The motorists said they are already overstretched with issues of extortion and double taxation.
From the fuel price, they are still selling the same price that they are selling, 145 naira. The price hasn't come down. If they reduce their passengers, it's going to affect them because the fuel price is not reduced. So we want the government to go into that and check the fuel stations that are not selling according to the normal price that they ask them to sell, and make sure that the such fuel station is shut down.
The excess transaction was first on the road is much. By the end of the day, you can't even make account to the owner of the vehicle. And mainly, the owner can be able to collect the vehicle from you. But you say you should do our price. Our transfer fare should be higher. Instead of 50 naira, you carry 100 naira. So for me, I'm not part of that.
But most of the drivers are complaining in the sense that they have told the passengers to be paying, this room okoro now normally carry 50 naira to room okoro, to Rupoko. Now they have been telling the passengers to be paying 100 naira so that they can see how they can be carrying three each seat instead of four. But the passengers are not agreeing such a policy.
On his part, chairman of Drivers Welfare Association, Lekia Isaac, noted that the cost of transportation may be increased in order to meet up with the normal bus and taxi road expenses.
Government should ready to subsidize the driver that is carrying 14 passengers. You are asking him to carry 9 passengers. That driver is going to still pay house rent, and that house rent is still there, so it's affecting him. The house rent has not been reduced. What I'm saying in essence is that government should try to see how they can make it holistically. All other sectors that comprises the transport sector, the pump price. The phone price of 125 naira is not enough compared to the numbers of passengers they are asking us to carry. Pay some money, give drivers some money to meet up the daily demand. Government can do it, it will work, so that nobody will be at loss at the end of the day. You cannot restrict the unions from collecting their dues from members. So we also limit their own tax they collect. Like take for example the unified ticketing. That my advice to all the drivers is that they should also listen to government preventive measure and take honest steps to ensure that they are safe first, and the passengers that.
Our correspondent Sandra Kenneth reports that commercial vehicles around Rumokoro to Eliozu, Rumokoro to Rumola, Rumokoro to Rupoko, Chuba to Rumokoro are yet to comply with the directive of the Ministry of Transportation, while cabs transporting from Rumola to Rumibo have complied. The River State government in the new transport guidelines for motorists and commuters said all taxis shall admit or take a total of 3 passengers, 1 person in front seat and 2 persons at the passengers behind. All small buses shall admit or convey a total of 5 passengers, 10 passengers for 14 buses, and 2 passengers for tricycles, popularly called keke. The River State government say it is still consulting with stakeholders in the petroleum industry to ensure compliance with the new fuel price of 125 naira. Commissioner for Energy and Natural Resources Dr. Peter Midi disclosed this after a meeting with members of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigerian Port Harcourt. Midi said that the private petroleum market has appealed for little more time before the implementation of the new pump price to prevent them from running into losses to the tune of 300 million naira. The commissioner, in an interview with our correspondent Chinadu Warner, said after the consultation, his ministry will again meet with the petroleum marketers before enforcing the new pump price.
By the time we finish our consultation, we'll be able to come back with a full-scale decision that is going to be taken as our position for River State. So what we have agreed to do is to continue to do our stakeholders engagement. We do our sensitization before we do our enforcement. So I can assure you, as soon as we come out with final decision, within a very short period of time, within few days, we'll be able to convey that to them, and then we will act accordingly. But the reality is that every NNPC filling station must comply almost immediately. So there is no excuse for any NNPC filling station not to sell, because NNPC has told us that their stations are automatically adjusting to that.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has embarked on indefinite strike action. The announcement was made by the president of association, Professor Abiodun Ogunyemi in Abuja. Professor Ogunyemi explained that the action became necessary following the federal government's refusal to address issues raised in its 2019 Memorandum of Understanding, as well as its objection to joining the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System. A strike by organized labor in River State has commenced. The action followed the expiration of a 7-day ultimatum issued by the labor movement to the state government over the delay in the implementation of the national minimum wage. State chairman of the River State Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Beatrice Itubo, who made the declaration, is that the government was yet to reach out to them since the ultimatum was issued. The NLC chairman called on Rivers workers to withdraw their services.
Today, the 23rd of March 2020 is the day that our ultimatum given the university government 7 days ago will be expiring at midnight today. And we have come together to appraise the situation, and after explaining everything that has happened thus far, it is disheartening that up to this hour, the university government has refused to call organized labor so we can deliberate on the issues contained in the ultimatum. Based on that, the organized labor in the state is hereby mandating the workers of that by 12 midnight today, all the workers should proceed on an indefinite strike action. Everybody should sit at home. Nobody should come to the place of work so that we can press our demands. Everybody has to leave, and let us also tell others that the strike is commencing by 12 midnight today. Solidarity!
Meanwhile, the River State government has secured an expedite order restraining the organized labor in River State from commencing an indefinite strike. The order was issued by the Port Harcourt Division of the National Industrial Court based on the application by the Attorney General of River State, Professor Zacchaeus Adango. The court, presided over by Justice Z.M. Bashir, restrained the defendants from interfering with the provision of work by their members in the civil service pending the hearing and determination of the substantive motion on notice. Reports say the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has interrogated former aide-de-camp ADC to former River State Governor Peter Orderly. Orderly's former ADC, Isaac Nyesom, was said to have been arrested and questioned over alleged 4 billion naira deposit in his account. This is reported to be part of the ongoing investigation of Sir Peter Orderly, who is being investigated for alleged 100 billion naira fraud during his tenure between 1999 and 2007. The EFCC had placed all accounts linked to Nyesom, who is a retired assistant superintendent of police, under post no debit. The fact sheet released by the anti-graft agency says the former ADC was arrested and squeezed on Friday. You are listening to the World News and Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. So stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still on to the World News in Today 95.1 FM. Thanks for joining us. Suspected serial killer Gracious David West has maintained that the statements presented by the police against him is fabricated. The suspected serial killer had earlier admitted ownership of a statement from a police station when he was first interrogated. David West also disowned an image that emanated from footage of a CCTV in a hotel, saying he is not the individual in the image. The suspected serial killer, who spoke from witness box, equally denied ever taking any lady to any hotel to have carnal knowledge and dismissed allegations of using the body parts of the female victims for any ritual purposes. Correspondent Uchendo Ejowo report that the trial judge, Justice Adolphus Enebele, adjourned till the 27th of March 2020 for continuation of cross-examination. The people of Ndoni in Oba Ebema and Ndoni local government area of River State have cried out over the activities of OSPAC in the community. The people said there is what they described as palpable fear and stampede over the town following an alleged invasion by the vigilante group and the arrest of some youth and elders in the name of courtesan on alleged directive of the authorities of the local government area. The statement, signed by the head of media, Okbala Okondoni, Matthew Osai, alleged that some persons in the local government have been making incisive comments capable of breaching the peace of the community despite the court's injunction restraining the Ndoni National Association from meddling into the affairs of kingship. The statement said the culture and tradition of the land demands that only the Okbala Oko of Ndoni, Elder John Esume, and the Council of Chiefs presided over by Chief Emmanuel Akpano are vested with the authority to handle the kingship institution. The statement quoted that Okwala Oku and Odua of Ndoni, Elder Esume, and Chief Akbono as condemning the alleged invasion by OSPAC. On his part, Chief Valentine Obi warned the Ndoni National Association to comply with the instruction of Ndoni Council of Chiefs on the side court order, failure of which could amount to contempt of courts. The paramount ruler of Alakahia community in Obiakwa local government area of River State, Eze Daniel Dodo, has called for the domestication of the Anambra State funeral law in River State. Eze Dodo, who doubles as the chairman Alakahia Council of Chiefs, in an interview shared with our correspondents, the need to clamp down on some unnecessary rites and rituals, one of which is what he described as the second burial. The paramount ruler, who also said the exorbitant expenses and show-off and some sacrifices are not necessary, stressed the need to continually review some practices that are detrimental to the growth, development, and well-being of the people.
What you have stated is what obtains in this part of the country. We spend much during burials, and at the end of the day, those who are not handy, are not rich per se, will go into living in abject poverty and paying debts. The rest of their life become useless to them because they will not have rest of mind. From my Christian background, I should suggest it should be domesticated in this area. When my late father was there, we've already put on ground a law to make sure that most of those things we do that will make them spend much during burials are not there. Some of the traditional rites were removed. Some of the sacrifices that we feel that are not necessary were banned in our own community. Initially, it wasn't all that easy, but when my father died as a paramount ruler at that time, we buried him not doing much of those things. It became a custom or law, whatever you can call it, Palakahia. I think we buy the idea.
Speaking in an interview with correspondent Rosemary Wabasi, some respondents also said there should be law that discourages unnecessary show of wealth during burials, while others called for caution to make such laws so it does not impede on age-long traditions.
River State, we are very cultural. When it comes to burial, it's very colorful. Not to say that we should spend all our life earnings in burial. So I don't mind if such is adopted here or is passed here to help curtail our excesses.
If it's possible to cancel burial ceremony, then we'll go ahead and cancel it. I always say that the Muslims are better than us in burial. Burial has no meaning as far as we're concerned. Once somebody is dead, is dead. So the best you can do to a dead person is to bury the person. And you don't need ceremony. You don't need to go to take loan, to go and borrow money and stress people to bury the dead. I don't know where we brought such culture. It was not like that before. So anything we do to cut down expenses on burial, we should do it. It's not. People are using it as a show of affluence, show of wealth for burial. Even when that man died or that woman died of hunger.
In as much as I agree that we need to cut down on some expenses during burial, I also want us to acknowledge the fact that we are a people. We have our culture, we have our ways of life. I wouldn't want such that will affect our culture. But then I agree that there are some extreme cases where people leave a corpse in the mortuary for a year because they are trying to build a house and all that. For me, that is not necessary. It is not important. I think, but the dead should be given a befitting burial. That is our African culture.
In a number of states, the 30 items law stipulate that a corpse must not be deposited in the mortuary or any other place beyond 2 months from the date of death. No person must erect any billboard, banner, or poster of any kind of deceased person in the state. There must be no overnight wake keep. Provision of food and drinks is not compulsory. A ban on distribution of souvenirs, no more public display of caskets, and so on. A group under the aegis of Calabar Unity Project Initiative for Good Governance, CUPIG, in River State has congratulated the new state chairman of the People's Democratic Party, His Excellency Ambassador Desmond Akawo, on his victory at the just concluded party state congress. The executive and the entire members of CUPIG, in conjunction with their dynamic sole patron, engineer Victor Obuzo, also congratulated other party executives, including the new state secretary, Benebo George, who emerged victoriously in the Congress. CUPIG, in a statement signed by the President General of the group, Jerry Hoswell, and the Secretary, Awoyeba Brown, said the emergence of the Akawo as the state party chairman is a clear testimony of his initiative, dedication, love, and state, and for the state, a new vision of the administration of Governor Nyesom Wike. A statement also thanked the Governor Nyesom Wike for finding Chief Desmond Akawo worthy as the party chairman. The group equally commended the delegates for their good conduct leading to the free, fair, and transparent congresses and prayed God to grant them good health, strength, wisdom, and courage to carry out the task ahead credibly in line with the new vision and blessing of the Rivers people at large. And on the foreign scene, Norway has said it wanted to start a United Nations donors fund to help poor countries fight the new coronavirus pandemic. Norway's Development Aid Minister Dajing Østen, in a statement, said they are concerned about the way the virus will affect developing countries which have fragile healthcare system. She said international solidarity across borders is more important than ever, adding that the fund is expected to be set up quickly, possibly this week. And in sport, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dari, has described the death of Rangers International's duo of Emmanuel Obo and Ifeanyi George as painful. George and Emmanuel died in a sport during the accident with another passenger who is a friend to George, Eteka Gabriel, also among the casualties. Their car ran into an articulated vehicle in Abudu along the Onitsha-Agbo Benin Road. The minister, in his reaction, said it is a sad event for the country's football and condoled with the families of the players. To end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. The federal government has ordered civil servants to stay at home as effort to curb the spread of COVID-19 intensifies. The ASU has begun an indefinite strike as organized labor in River State down tools over the national minimum wage. The River State Governor Nyesom Wike has announced the closure of public parks, includes club and cinemas, over coronavirus. And on the foreign scene, Norway has advised the UN to raise funds for third world countries battling with coronavirus. And that was the news edited by Chinedu Iwuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 08153418657 or 08144 094343502 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Thanking you for listening. I am Butchira Afua. Good morning.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Welcome to Returns Market Investment Nigeria Limited, a financial home that has impacted lives and given meaning to every life and home and companies with values using the international capital market business for the past 3 years in Port Harcourt. Returns Market Investment Nigeria Limited is strictly into the international capital market business that delivers 10% returns on investment monthly with a minimum startup capital of 300,000 naira and a maximum capital of 100 million naira. If you are looking for 100% security of your funds and constant delivery of your returns on investment, then think Returns Market Investment Nigeria Limited. Contact our head office today at number 33B Rumola Stadium Link Road, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, or our branch office at number 10 NTA Road, Rumokuta Checkpoint Junction, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, or call us now on 0903 652 7708. You can also visit our website at www.returnsinvestmentnigerialimited.com.
Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM.
Today is here. Yesterday is gone and unrecoverable. Tomorrow, you don't know what it holds, right? You have today. Yes, you heard me. You have today. The indisputable truth is that today is pregnant with both good and bad. You have freely been given today as a gift to see what you will make out of it. Permit me to be positive. Permit me to sideline the negative and magnify the good. Permit me to espouse on today. Today is great. Today is wonderful. Today is targetable and targets can be achieved. Today is domineering and you can be dominant. Today is a conqueror and goals can be conquered. Today is challenging and you can challenge yourself for the better. Today is cheerful. You can choose to be happy. Just in case you're sulking, saddened and feeling sorry for yourself. Enough of the wallow in self-pity. You have today. I mean today. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. Take that step today. Opportunities are everywhere. Just be sensitive. Build on yourself and get ready for the opportunity. Be the best you can be today, because I see the sun smiling on you. This message is powered by Today
95.1 FM.
Voice of the people.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, Voice of the People.
Mama, come inside, Mama.
Mama Bonboy, what happened? What be all this one?
My brother, I don't know.
Run for waiting. What did happen? Everybody just dey run. Everywhere is scattered. What did happen?
That woman for junction. He say, her friend come tell her say, person tell her friend say, coronavirus don enter town. They keep people.
Which one be corona?
Corona. They keep people. Hey, Bambai! Where your sister? Wanna enter house? Wanna enter house? Oh, lock that door. Fast. Lock am. Nkechi, lock that window. Man says corona won't use enter this house. Lock am.
Remember, there is no need to panic. Fear kills faster.
The coronavirus is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is to be well informed about the virus. Protect yourself and others from this infection. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or clean them with alcohol-based sanitizer. Maintain at least 1 meter distance between you and people coughing or sneezing. Stay at home if you feel unwell. The virus spreads through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose. It is important that you practice respiratory etiquette. At this point, there are no given vaccines or treatments for the coronavirus. The World Health Organization will continue to provide updates as soon as clinical findings become available. So stay informed. This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Every morning as the cock crows, a new day creeps in. New goals are set, challenges are overcome, and success is achieved. Be part of a new day as we take you to its height on today's quest. It's informative.
The President of the United States of America was very clear that America for the first time has confidence in Nigeria.
Educative.
The governor tells the public, oh look, there's no money from the federation account. And you claim to be a state, you're supposed to be a local government.
Opinionated, interactive, and breezy. Today's Quest, weekdays from 6 to 10:45 a.m. Join the conversation because it's a new day. Today's Quest, right here on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Have you heard that coronavirus has been confirmed in Nigeria?
My brother, don't panic. The Federal Ministry of Health and Nigeria Center for Disease Control have advised that everyone should do the following to stay safe. Wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Use hand sanitizer if there is no water. Cover mouth with bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose the used tissue and wash your hands immediately. Avoid touching eyes, nose, mouth with unwashed hands. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces such as door locks, tables, and chairs. Avoid close contact with sick persons or anybody coughing or sneezing.
Please, Mary, what are the symptoms of coronavirus?
Any person infected with coronavirus can have fever, cough, difficulty in breathing, and shortness of breath.
Don't panic. Coronavirus is preventable. If you have traveled to any country with reported local or community transmission, stay indoors and away from people for 14 days. If you develop any of the symptoms mentioned above, call the Nigeria Center for Disease Control NCDC toll-free line 0800-9700-0010. Share information about coronavirus only from verified sources like the Federal Ministry of Health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, and the World Health Organization WHO. This message is from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control NCDC, the Federal Ministry of Health, and partners.
They're saying that the explanation given by the military was not enough to say that he saved up to buy those houses or to buy land.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Let's talk football.
What a devastating strike!
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
What
a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike!
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports Attack, weekdays 7:30 a.m. and Today Sports Live 3 p.m. Weekends 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
For all you need to know in the world of sports, leave the dial on Today 95.1 FM.
Beautiful morning to you all out there. Welcome to yet another edition of Sports Attack on your premium news talking sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM, right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. It's Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. My name is Wisdom Obina, and I'll be bringing you up to speed with all the latest and trending sports stories making the rounds in the world of sports. So just sit back, because I'll be right back to serve you all the juicy stories.
My name is Simidele Adiagbo, the first ever Nigerian skeleton athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics. To keep tabs on trending sports stories across the globe, keep listening to Sports Attack on your premium talk, news, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. You will be glad you did.
All right, let's start with all the sports from the home front, where the National Stadium Surulere, Lagos was yesterday shut down following the coronavirus outbreak. Bode Durotoye, the liaison officer of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, said that the directive was from Sunday Diary, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development. Durotoye said the facility would be reopened to the public when the situation improves. Meanwhile, the athletes of the Ondo State Sports Council yesterday protested the non-payment of camp allowances by management of the council after the state government had reportedly approved funds for the purpose. The athletes, who paralyzed activities at the Sports Council, accused the general manager, Wande Fabuluje, and the State Commissioner for Sports, Dotun Owanikin, of incompetence and shortchanging them of their camp allowances. Reports claim that the National Sports Festival, billed to have started on March 22nd, was postponed by the federal government as part of the measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus in the country. And ever since the Ondo State athletes, before, during, and after that decision, have not gotten their camp allowances. The leader of the protesters and chairman of the labor union in the council, Moses Usifo, said, and I quote, "Since 2018, we have been facing a big build-up of fraud in the Ondo State Sports Council, and we say enough is enough. In 2018, government released 75 million naira for the purchase of equipment, out of which 25 million naira was embezzled. We wrote a petition and some people were begging us to withdraw it, but we are still standing on the petition. We want to use this medium to plead with the Ondo State government to take proper action on the incompetence of the general manager of the Sports Council. Government has released money for the National Sports Festival, while athletes had been decamped. They have not yet been paid since Friday. The general manager said that the money would be paid on Thursday, but they are yet to pay the athletes. They are yet to pay. The athletes are stranded and angry, hence our protest, unquote. Well, also, the state's basketball coach, Fisayo Bello, said the National Sports Festival 2020 has been postponed, and the commissioner gave his word that every allowance would be paid. And ever since, nothing has come forth out of that promise. All right, to the Olympics, where Britain's Olympic cycling champion Callum Skinner believes the decision to postpone the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics needs to be made now. Skinner, who fronts competitor-led movement Global Athletes, thinks the sporting spectaculars should be rescheduled until the coronavirus pandemic is under control, and he thinks there will be boycotts if the IOC decided to keep the Olympics in its original slot.
To be clear, I think the games should be postponed. I think it's the best option, it's the least worst option available to us now. I think if we're trying to create anything like a normal Olympic Games without potential boycotts, without the media coverage being unanimously about COVID-19, a postponement has to be the only decision. I think the IOC are presented with an amazing opportunity to try and bring the world together when we see the other side of this pandemic. We've seen them do it before when they brought out North and South Korea under one united Korean flag, and that's the power of sport, and that's the power of the Olympic Games. So they've got an amazing opportunity here to postpone the Games and then bring the world together after we see the back of this virus.
Skinner also added that people should stop seeing the athletes as superheroes, insisting that their health is also at risk and that they are also vulnerable to the disease.
I think it's quite often misunderstood that athletes, especially Olympic athletes, are some kind of superheroes that are immune to everything. We're not, and we can suffer from illnesses and injuries just as much as anyone else. And to put that into perspective, around about 700 of the 10,000 athletes which attended the London 2012 Games were diagnosed as asthmatic. And here in the UK, that would put you at a very high risk category if you were to catch COVID-19. There's also the other issue that the most commonly reported illnesses at Olympic Games tend to be respiratory issues, which is a double-edged sword. So you could have some athletes missing out in the Games due to a false positive because they have a cough and have to self-isolate. And then there's also the potential of having all these athletes from all over the world coming together in one place.
Meanwhile, for the first time, Japan's Prime Minister says postponing the Olympics is a possibility. Speaking to lawmakers yesterday, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said postponing the 2020 Summer Olympics is a huge possibility. This is the first time Abe has changed his staunch public position that the Olympics will start July 24th as scheduled. In recent days, a growing number of countries and athletes have called for the Games to be postponed, while Canada said yesterday that it will not send any teams. Meanwhile, President of the United States, Donald Trump, believes the Olympics might be postponed, but stated that the decision lies with the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
Prime Minister Abe has a big decision to make. You know, they have built one of the most beautiful venues I've ever seen. They're all ready to go. It's not late. It's not over budget. It was just done flawlessly, and it's beautiful. And they're sitting back and saying, you know, I told him, I said, that's your decision, and it is his decision, and I know he's going to make it soon. I don't know what it's going to be, and I didn't think I should be influencing it at all. There are options, obviously, including delay, and maybe delay for next year, but that's totally up to them. We'll see what they do.
In the meantime, Director of Marketing of the International Olympics Committee, IOC, Michael Payne, says the best visible time for the Olympics will be 2021.
Japan is only just coming to terms that they have to postpone, because even if they solve the coronavirus in Japan, the rest of the world is not going to be able to get there. And so now Japan, I think, is no longer losing face by saying they have to postpone the Games. It's a problem for the world. I think what everybody clearly is looking for now is certainty. Some people have spoken about postponing until October, November, but I don't think that's really going to solve the problem, because athletes will still have difficulty with training, all of the planning and the logistics. So I think increasingly it's looking that you should be postponing, 15 or 1 year to around the same dates in the summer of 2021.
Meanwhile, the 2020 Olympic Games will be postponed by 1 year because of the coronavirus, says International Olympic Committee member Dick Pound. It comes after the chairman of the British Olympic Association said Great Britain will be unlikely to send a team to Tokyo this summer. Australia and Canada, as I told you earlier, have already said they will not compete in Japan. I'm quoting Pound now. He told USA Today, on the basis of the information the IOC has, postponement has been decided. The parameters going forward have not been determined, but the games are not going to start on 24 July. That much I know. Meanwhile, in boxing, many fighters will be forced to leave boxing because of the impact of the coronavirus crisis, promoter Eddie Hearn has warned. On Monday, the British Boxing Board of Control extended the suspension of events until May, and a number of major fights have already been cancelled, and Hearn expects many boxers to have to get different jobs in the future. Quoting him now, he said the coronavirus is going to have a massive impact on every business, particularly boxing, Hearn told BBC Radio Live. If this drags on to September, October, November, December, we'll have fighters that have not boxed this year. The fighters at the top end are going to be fine, but the fighters coming through, small hall fighters, once starting their careers, or those who do not have a sponsorship deal, face big concerns. All right, from there we move to football, and we can tell you that reactions have continued to trail the suspension of the Nigerian Professional Football League, with stakeholders having mixed reactions on the LMC's decision. Director of Sports at MFM FC and seasoned sport journalist Godwin Enhahena believes the decision was timely.
It's one of the best things to happen to the league. Fatigue had started to set in. A lot of persons were tired. They just needed a break. We have about 13 games, or they're about to go. This is the second half of the league, and this is the most important part of the league. So I think it came at a better time. Let us relax, take stock and come back and know that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Elsewhere, media officer of the Super Eagles, Tony Ibitoye, has stated that Nigerian coaches do not have the right facilities and technologies to monitor the progress of their players during the break. European clubs continue to follow the progress of their players, even in self-isolation, as coaches dish out instructions and monitor players' fitness and routines using various technologies. Ibitoye believes this might be a huge challenge for the MPFL returning.
In Europe, where they have also stopped their leagues, there is a lot of online training going on for every player. But then you ask yourself, do we have such facilities here where players are able to monitor via screen? The coaches are able to monitor their players on the screen, what they do every day on their own in terms of training, keeping themselves in shape, mentally, physically, so that when the league resumes, there's little time, they hit the ground running. But I'm not sure we have such facilities.
All right, meanwhile, the family of the late Ifeanyi George will be compensated with a sum of 15 million naira. George died in a road crash along with two others on Sunday on his way to Lagos from Enugu after Enugu Rangers granted their players a break following the suspension of the Nigerian Professional Football League on account of the coronavirus pandemic. The insurance, which has been in place for 2 years and was approved by the governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, is the benefit from the club's accident insurance compensation scheme. In a statement made available to the Punch, Rangers General Manager David Snowomi said the insurance brokers have been informed of the death and the family will be paid the money as soon as verification processes are completed. 2 seasons ago, when I joined Rangers, one of the things the management requested from the governor is that the players must be fully comprehensively insured, and it was approved to pay the premium, and since then all players, officials have been comprehensively insured against injuries, accidents. Oumi said, I was in touch with the general manager of the Premier Brokers Limited, and all we need to do is to submit the death certificate, police report, and they will activate the insurance. As we speak, the governor has ordered the activation of the insurance claim, and we are on top of the situation. Wow, what a good backup plan right there from the Enugu State government. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Football Federation are set to battle their Dutch counterparts for Feyenoord Rotterdam wonderkid Jordan Zegzi. The 2005-born Jordan Zegzi holds dual nationalities and is qualified to play for both the African and European powerhouses, and his international future is certain to be the subject of debate in the coming years as he has not been capped by the two nations. Joshua Zegzi departed Feyenoord in the summer of 2017 and signed for Bayern Munich, but left behind his younger brother Jordan at the Eredivisie club. The NFF and KNVB are presently battling for the services of the older Zegzi, and if that is sorted out, they could turn their attention to Jordan, who is also a striker like his brother. Another similarity they share is that the two brothers played for the youth teams of VVV Hekelingen and Spartan 20 Rotterdam before joining Feyenoord. As it stands, Jordan Zegzi won't be provisionally captured to the Netherlands until he plays competitively for their under-17 team. Meanwhile, Nigerian international Chidozie Awaziem is open to staying with Spanish club CD Leganes. The defender is currently on a season-long loan deal at the La Liga side from Portuguese football heavyweight FC Porto. Awaziem has been enjoying his football in Spain this season, having featured in 21 games across all competitions. The 23-year-old has explained why he would be happy to stay with Leganes on a permanent deal. Quoting him now, he said, it all depends on how the season ends. If the club decides to extend my contract, we could do it. I feel comfortable here. Awaziem told Super Sports magazine program Naija Made. It is one of the best leagues in the world and we will fight to escape relegation. My favorite position is the defensive midfield position, he added. His Nigerian teammate Kenneth Omeruo is also on the books of Leganes, who find themselves in the relegation zone on the La Liga log. La Liga has been suspended due to the coronavirus outbreak. According to statistics from WhoScored.com, Bodo winger Samuel Carlo is the highest-ranked Nigerian dribbler in Europe's top 5 leagues, comprising of La Liga, English Premier League, German Bundesliga, Italian Serie A, and French Ligue 1. The Bodo number 10 has racked up 48 take-ons in 20 appearances in the French top flight, an average of 2.4 dribbles per game to place first among the Nigerian players. In the overall ranking, the former KAA Gen star is 48th, but has averaged the same number of dribbles as Musa Jenipo of Southampton, Ashraf Hakimi of Borussia Dortmund, Christian Pulisic of Chelsea, Martin Odegaard of Real Sociedad, Gelson Martins of Monaco, Opa Nguete of Metz, and Filippo Falco of Lecce, who have better player ratings. Former Chelsea wingback Ola Aina is the second best rated Nigerian player with an average of 2.1 dribbles per game, and the Super Eagles is 75th in the overall rankings. The 22-year-old has played 20 games for Torino in the Italian top flight this season with 15 as a starter. Villarreal Samuel Chukwueze may be one of the most flashy Nigerian players but he's only third in the ranking with average dribbles of 1.7 per game and 155th overall. The Golden Boy nominee has lost his place in the Villarreal starting lineup, having failed to start any of the last 6 league matches before the league was postponed. And to FIFA, where President Gianni Infantino has suggested FIFA could reform football by taking a step backwards after the coronavirus pandemic. The sport has been halted in a bid to slow the spread of the virus, which has over 345,000 confirmed cases and almost 15,000 deaths worldwide. Europe's top 5 leagues have been suspended, while Euro 2020 and the 2020 Copa America have been pushed back 12 months. Infantino sees the pause in play as an opportunity to assess the future of the game, though leading managers, most notably Jurgen Klopp, have long bemoaned a packed schedule, and the FIFA chief has highlighted the possibility of cutting back on some competitions. 2 Nigerian players in Arsenal, winger Bukayo Saka and Partizan Belgrade's Umar Sadiq, have been named to the Europa League team of the season so far by football statistics website Who Scored. While Arsenal surprisingly failed to progress to the last 16 of the competition after losing to Olympiacos via the away goals rule, the Serbian side, who were in the same group as Manchester United, did not advance past the group stage. In a 4-4-2 formation, Saka was the starting left back and Sadiq partnered Glasgow Rangers goal poacher Alfredo Morelos in attack. The teenager was awarded a rating of 7.78. That's Saka, the second best rated player in the team of the season, and the lanky forward got 7.58 out of 10 marks. Sadiq was involved in an impressive 6 goals, scoring 4 goals and setting up 2 assists in 6 group stage matches. And Saka also had an identical record, having scored 4 goals and provided 2 assists in 6 appearances. Manchester United were the most represented team in the team of the season, with 3 of their players, Harry Maguire, Fred and Bruno Fernandes, listed. A player must make a minimum of 6 appearances to be eligible to be included in the Europa League team of the season so far. Meanwhile, UEFA has formally announced the postponement of the Champions League and Europa League finals due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Champions League final had been due to take place on May 30th in Istanbul, with the decisive Europa League encounter scheduled to be contested in Dansk 3 days later. However, those games, along with the Women's Champions League final, originally allocated for May 24th in Vienna, will now be played at later dates. The decision is no surprise, with the vast majority of club football in Europe having been put on hold due to the spread of the virus. A working group established last week following a conference call between the stakeholders of European football is to analyze the available options for fulfilling the fixtures. In a statement confirming the postponement, UEFA said the group had already begun its examination of the calendar. Meanwhile, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has revealed how he discovered he had contracted coronavirus and how long it took him to start feeling better. Arteta announced that he had tested positive for COVID-19 on March 12th, with the Arsenal squad going into precautionary self-isolation as a result. Arsenal's match against Manchester City was postponed after the club announced that several players and staff had come in contact with Olympiacos owner Evangelos Marianakis, who had also tested positive for the virus. Quoting Arteta, I said, "I'm very well now. I feel that I have recovered." Arteta, speaking from his home in London, told La Sexta on Spanish TV, "I am very well now. I feel that I have recovered. It took me 3 or 4 days to start feeling better and with more energy to leave the symptoms behind. And now the truth is that I feel very well." All right, in Spain, all Spanish football, including La Liga, has now been suspended indefinitely due to the coronavirus pandemic. La Liga and the Royal Spanish Football Federation announced jointly yesterday. The Spanish top flight, which currently sees defending champions Barcelona lead fierce rivals Real Madrid by 2 points in an absorbing title race, had already been postponed for 2 match days amid the outbreak of COVID-19. However, all football in the country is now off until further notice. A statement read, and I quote, "The monitoring commission established by the current RFEF La Liga coordination agreement agrees the suspension of professional football competitions until the authorities of the government of Spain and the general administration of the state consider that they can be resumed without creating any health risk." Meanwhile, Leb, that's former Arsenal and Barcelona man, has said Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo could move to Belarus to get their football fix amid the coronavirus. He joked COVID-19 has disrupted sports across the globe. However, it is business as usual in Belarus, where the Belarusian Premier League season started on Thursday with fans in attendance. Belarusian Leb tried to make light of the situation as he flagged his home country as a possible destination for Barcelona's Messi and Juventus superstar Cristiano Ronaldo. Meanwhile, Bundesliga side talking about Wolfsburg. They've returned to training yesterday despite the coronavirus pandemic and Germany's social distancing measures. COVID-19 continues to disrupt sports all over the world, including Germany. There have been more than 120 deaths in Germany from at least 29,000 cases as the world tries to combat the spread of coronavirus, leading Chancellor Angela Merkel to ban public meetings of more than 2 people. Yes, but despite concerns in Germany and around the world, Wolfsburg resumed training in 4 small groups at staggered times in the gym. Yes, they have resumed training. And just before we run out of the building, let's tell you that legendary Brazilian forward Ronaldinho is learning carpentry in Paraguayan prison as he faces up to the prospect of 6 months behind bars. Ronaldinho and his brother were arrested after they were accused of entering Paraguay with doctored passports. Both men denied the accusations, but they have been denied bail and are currently behind bars. And ESPN has now revealed Ronaldinho has been learning carpentry to while away time, but he's said to be loved by fellow inmates and is relaxed in the lockup. Unsurprisingly, he continues to play football with fellow prisoners and officers, but he's missing his other love, music. Since he retired from football, the 40-year-old that's talking about Ronaldinho has spent a lot of time doing a lot of things, including music as part of that. He might just be adding carpentry to that list right now. And there, on that note, we call it a wrap on today's edition of Sports Attack. My name is Wisdom Obinai. I'm your Superman in the world of sport, the man who can never leave football for snowball. And of course, the sports crew will be back after the news update at 3 p.m. for another exciting edition of Sports, where we'll be talking about everything Nigerian football. Until then, keep it locked on this dial. Today FM 95, the rocking one.
Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
My name, Daily Alert, is a platform that helps all bill payers to make money from the bills. They pay from time to time, bills that forms part of your daily, weekly, monthly expenses. You've been paying this bill for the past 1 year, 2 years, 20 years ago. No one has ever called you to compensate you for paying this long. We have a better way to pay these bills, being that you pay these bills, you make money out of it. It's a mobile application kind of that you can use to pay either your NEPA bill or you use it to pay for a GoTV, DSTV or StarTime bills. You need it to pay for data and airtime. Anytime you have any of these bills I mentioned to pay, use our mobile app to pay them and you will get paid cash in return. Like the name says, Daily Alert. Every one of us gets alerts daily, courtesy people paying their bills through our platform and you paying your bills through our own platform. Now, it doesn't end there. In as much as we pay you through your bills, we also pay you as others are connected to our system nationwide. Imagine you seated here in Port Harcourt and somebody is paying for airtime in Abuja. You are getting paid while in Port Harcourt. Somebody is paying for PSCN bill, otherwise known as NEPA, in Kano. You are getting paid while in Port Harcourt. Somebody is paying for GoTV, DSTV or StarTime in Lagos. While you are seated in Port Harcourt, you are getting paid. Now, ₦1 profit made out of a product used by 1 million persons makes you a millionaire. Now, imagine the number of persons paying for NEPA bill nationwide today. If you're getting only ₦1 profit out of them, you are made for life. What about GoTV, DSTV? According to MultiChoice, they have over 20 million customers in their portal. If you have only 50 kobo out of these people, you are made for life. What about data and the airtime? According to NCC, 173.7 million active lines is what we have in the system today. An average Nigerian today has access to 2 mobile, 2 SIM cards. And all these SIM cards consumes airtime on daily basis. As they consume their airtime, you are busy getting a lot in the course of that. That is what we want to show you tomorrow at Emerald Hotels, number 193, Port Harcourt, Aba Road, Rumola Junction. Is coming live tomorrow. Of course, Daily Alert actually came from Lagos. We are trying to launch our business here in Port Harcourt. So if you are interested, you want to know more about what we have and how you can partake of what we have, come tomorrow and we will show you how it works.
The truth is that there is no secrets anywhere. It's only information you don't have access to. And that is why we want to unveil some important information, secrets that will actually make you financially free. That's why tomorrow we have 2 sections. We have 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. All you need to do to be in attendance is just to show your interest, and we will reserve your seat. Now, we only want serious-minded people, first people to text in their details. All you need to do now is to reserve your seat by sending the word yes, Y-E-S, yes, to the phone number
090-317-33310. Again, 090-317-33310. Don't call, just send us yes, and we will send you all details required of you to partake of what we are doing tomorrow.
What I love most about this Daily Alas platform is the fact that you're just getting paid for living your life. You know, this is what you do every day, and we pay all these bills in bits, and it makes it look like small money, but the truth is it's a lot of money. Some people may never buy a car in their life, but if you add up all the money they spend on airtime, it's enough to buy 5 cars or more. So it's a lot of money we are spending on this thing, and we don't get paid for it. So how do we turn the table around that whenever I pay a bill, whenever I do anything with my phone, buy data, buy airtime, something comes back to my pocket? That's an awesome concept. The time has come, because we're doing these things every day.
Come to the seminar tomorrow, and we ask you to come around so that you can get your own personalized app that henceforth, anytime you use it to make all those purchases you make with the present app that somebody gave you that doesn't belong to you, now you use your own, you make money. That is the essence of coming tomorrow. So if you want to find out how to save money from your bills and also make money when someone else uses the same system to recharge, you better be at the seminar tomorrow. Let me reiterate what he said, and that is the part that beats me, or that I like most. It's not just making money from your recharges. You also make money when others do the same thing. Just imagine millions of Nigerians who have SIM card, who buy recharge card, who pay for data every day, and you're making some fraction of money from theirs. That's right. That is where the money is. It's not just the one you do. How much do you pay in a month? But the real money comes from when others do that. If you say give a service and your service is just about to 10 million people, you're sure going to be a millionaire. Just imagine millions of people paying these bills and be taking something from their recharge. That is the essence of why you should leave whatever you're doing tomorrow, be at the seminar, so that you can get your own personalized app and henceforth start doing that. You'll be around for a long time to come. So you get your own app means that you will not use any third-party system to recharge again. You'll be using yours. You'll be making money. When somebody else is using anywhere in the country, you also make money. So come tomorrow with your phone or laptop. We're going to give you the app. So if you want to be part of the business, please send us a text message right now. The number to send yes to is 090-317-33310. Let me be slow about it. Again, 090-317-33310. Now, I want to also let you know that there is a token of 1,000 naira to be paid at the entrance of the gate. Before they allow you inside the hall, there is a token of 1,000 required of you to pay. They say opportunity eludes people because they look too far for it. What are the opportunities you are looking out for this year? I want to let you know that your mobile phone is an asset for you to make money out of this business opportunity. Your bills is an asset for you to also make money from this business opportunity. Those things that are around you that you play with every day, year in, year out, are things you need to run this business and make a huge profit out of it. As well as you're making profit from your own bills, you're also making profit from others' bills all across the nation. Wherever they are located here in Nigeria, doing the same thing you are doing, you are making money.
Let me show you more practical. Okay. According to NCC, that's the Nigeria Communication Commission, that we have a minimum of 168 million active lines in Nigeria. Now, these are active lines, people that are using their lines, both individuals and companies. That is for all the communication. Now, these people are recharging a minimum of 100 naira on a daily basis. That is nothing less than 7 billion naira every day spent on recharge card. I'm not saying million, I'm talking about billions of naira spent every day. Now, do you know that people that make a fraction, royalty from that money? Now, what about if I show you where you can start making money? As my colleagues said, people from other states in Nigeria, you are seated in Port Harcourt and you are making money there. You're making money as people are recharging, as people are paying NEPA bill. That is one aspect. According to NCC, we have 113 million people that access the internet. Now, these are people that as they browse, every day people are browsing on their phone, people are doing one thing, they're playing games, they're doing that, watching skits, comedy. People are doing, as you are watching that skit on your phone, there are people that are somewhere making money. This is what we want to show you. Where other people will be browsing on their phone, you make money. from these 130 million people across Nigeria. We're not talking about Port Harcourt alone. Now, people are paying NEPA bill. We have a minimum of 50 million Nigerians that pay NEPA bills. That billions of naira being spent every month on NEPA bill. Now, these are individuals are making some fraction commission every day. Now, see you two in that situation. The same thing with GoTV, StarTime, DSTV. This is what we are talking about. Whereby you two, from the comfort of your home, using your phone where they carry play, they watch these comedy skits, they laugh for nobody send you. This is a business that is fully registered and pay tax in Nigeria.
Oh, really?
Now, so we're talking about what is existing already. Almost more than 167 million Nigeria are already doing. So what are we doing? See, if you want to make money, it's all about making people's hobbies your business. When other people's problem becomes your business, my brother, you don't blow.
Event is taking place tomorrow at Emerald Hotel, 193 Port Harcourt Aba Road, Rumola Junction here, Port Harcourt. Again, the venue is Emerald Hotels, number 193 Port Harcourt Aba Road, Rumola Junction, Port Harcourt here. The time is 11 a.m. the first session, and then 2 p.m. the second session. Send us yes, don't call us, just send us yes. We will get back to you with other details you need. The number to send yes to is 090-317-33310. Let me be slow about it. Again, 090-317-33310. Daily Alert actually came from Lagos. We are trying to officially launch the business in Port Harcourt.
Yes,
so
sir.
we are looking for people who will form part of the foundation of the business in Port Harcourt. For you that want to come tomorrow, we want to show you a 4-year roadmap for you to retire. You just need to work for 4 years and you retire all throughout your life. Imagine you retiring within 4 years from now. 4 years, you work for 4 years and then you retire. Yes to the numbers again, 090-317-33310. Again, 090-317-33310.
Tomorrow is the D-Day. Don't fail to be there, and we will see you there.
Event is taking place tomorrow at Emerald Hotel, 193 Port Harcourt Aba Road, Rumola Junction here, Port Harcourt. Again, the venue is Emerald Hotels, number 193 Port Harcourt Aba Road, Rumola Junction, Port Harcourt here. The time is 11 a.m. the first session, and then 2 p.m. the second session. Send us yes, don't call us, just send us yes. We will get back to you with other details you need. 090-317-33310. Again, 090-317-33310.
Now the number be that the year is already winding down. What's up? All you need to do is to do what? Make the year sweet for you as in the end. So, and how do you do that? Is by making the millions of Nigerians that pay bills. Let that commission bounce. So when we talk about you getting a lot, we mean money. We don't talk about bonus. We talk about money into your account.
And my final word is, you know how to spend money, you should know how to make money at the same time. Come tomorrow, we will show you how you can make money going forward from the money you spent before now. Thank you.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Have you heard that coronavirus has been confirmed in Nigeria?
When we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one, there are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family.